You're listening to Wet Shaving Talk, powered by Sharpologist.com, where we're dedicated to preserving the art and skill of classic shaving. I'm your host, Joe Borrelli, and today is July 28th, 2025. Hey guys, welcome back to the podcast. I hope you all are beating the heat and really staying cool during this very hot summer and enjoying the last few days of summer, at least for the kids here in Florida. 2 more weeks until school starts. That's right. My son is starting kindergarten on August 11th. So everybody cross your fingers, wish him good luck, give him a virtual pat on the back because he's starting kindergarten. And I think I'm probably more nervous than he is, I think, for going to kindergarten. I actually remember my first day of kindergarten, and I had a traumatic experience. I'll tell you briefly about it, just a very short story. I went on my first day of kindergarten. I remember my mother dropping me off, and I got stuck, and they sent me in the wrong line. I ended up going on the bus, and I didn't know where I was going. I didn't know anything. And, guys, this is back in the 80s. So this is back in the late 80s. When I went to mid to late 80s, when I went to kindergarten, and I remember my mom finding me and all that. It was a big, big mess, and I was very, very scared. So I hope he doesn't go through that, because I will be there to drop him off, and I will be there to pick him up, doing that old, I guess you could say, taking the day off, playing hooky that day. No, I requested the day off. I won't be playing hooky, but I'll be there with him. I'll make sure he doesn't get stuck on the bus when he's not supposed to, although I think times have changed since I went to school. So, yeah, a little nervous there with kindergarten coming up, but you know what? Hey, guys, everybody's got to go through it, right? We all did it, so it's his turn. On a lighter note, today on the show, let's talk about some really comfortable and not scary stuff, wet shaving. That's right. So we want to talk a little bit about more about those cheap wet shaving items that I talked about on the last podcast. I was able to find and piece together on Amazon a complete wet shaver kit for around $20. It's actually $21 shipped. So a really cheap starter kit. You can get you started. Is enough to get you going for wet shaving. A little bit about what we talked about last week with some of the same items, and I actually put the listings in the show notes itself, so you can see what to buy to get you started. And honestly, it's really great to see that we could start wet shaving pretty decently for about $20. So we always talk about, will wet shaving save you money? Yeah, it will. It will if you do this kit and you just get a little bit of, start off with some cheap blades and stuff, and you can start wet shaving for the amount it would cost you for one pack of cartridges, less than 1 pack of cartridges of a Mach 3. You can start wet shaving traditionally with a brush, soap, and razor. The RazorRock Daily. This is another razor that came out from RazorRock. They are known for innovation and coming out with different types of razors that are actually quality made. They came out with this called the Daily, which is designed for daily use. And I thought it was really cool because the price is right as well. So, I mean, it's a good price, good razor. I think everything they make is in good shape, is pretty good stuff. And really excited to see this one and see some good reviews coming out for this. It just came out just a little while ago. 3D printed shaving gear is moving on up. That's right. The quality of these items are becoming very good. And if you can see in the show notes right now, the actual image for the show this week is all 3D printed wet shaving stuff. So you have shave brushes, you have razors that are based off different designs. You have single edge razors, everything all 3D printed, giving you the ability to use a vintage piece without having to either find it or spend that vintage price or that high-end collector's price, and gives you the ability to try something that's pretty similar to it, all for a fraction of what you would pay. So we'll talk a little bit about 3D printed stuff. And then collector series, one of my favorite adjustable razors that's vintage, the Apollo Mikron. This is a German razor that's adjustable. I did some work on it before, a little bit of writing on it in the past. I've never owned one. I've never used one, but I have seen them in person. They're very, very nice. So we'll talk a little bit about that and give them a wet shaving salute. So without further ado, guys, let's get on with the show. A wet shaving kit for $20? Are you kidding me? No, I'm not. And here it is. If you listened last week, we discussed cheap wet shaving stuff. A few things that could get you started, some cheap stuff. And I actually went out and bought one. So I bought one of the razors. I bought the 7 o'clock Permasharp in plastic, the green plastic one, for about $8, right? I tried it and I said, you know what? This is not bad. This is definitely a good way to start wet shaving. And this is how this is what we're going to do. I'm going to build a set. You guys can try it. If you want, if you're new to wet shaving, if you are lurking and you're just listening to this and you haven't made the plunge yet, what better way to do it than to get it on Amazon or anywhere? If you can find it in a brick and mortar store, go for it and pay about $20. So I guess you're wondering, what did I choose? Well, if you listened last week, you pretty much know, but here's what I got. So the Gillette 7 o'clock Permasharp razor, which I purchased on Amazon for $7.99, which I'm going to tell you probably is a rip compared to what it really is. This razor is an Indian-made Gillette razor, which has never stopped making double-edged razors since they stopped making them in the United States in the 80s. But they've always been making double-edged razors for India and the Asian market. They're still popular. They're still widely used. Why? Because they're more affordable, and they never really went out of fashion over there. So this would cost you about 50 rupees, I believe, or something, which is equivalent to about $2 or $1 in American money, and basically in the U.S. dollar. So, of course, you're going to want to buy it. Somebody's going to have to make money on it. So I got mine for $8 on Amazon, and it includes shipping and all that stuff. And yes, you could buy it cheaper on eBay. I believe I saw somebody selling it for $3, but I would have to wait. So I just decided, I wanted to try it out. And it comes with 2 blades. And I used it, and I shaved my face and my head with it for a few days. And you know what? I got to tell you guys, it's a nice, mild razor. And it's a good way to start. You can really get a good shave with them and not worry about, hey, if you lose it, big deal, right? I'm not using something crazy. And it does do a good head shave as well. So I highly recommend it. $8 gets you started with a double-edged razor, right? On Amazon. It'll be at your house the next day. Or if you want to, save a few bucks and get it for like $2 or $3 and wait a little bit, just buy it on eBay or through somebody online. So that's a way to do it, and that's the way to start with the razor. A VDH Shave Soap for $5.29 on Amazon. Again, this is a little bit high. You could probably get one for about $3 if you go on a couple other websites. So we're up to about $13 right now. And this soap has been one of my favorite soaps for years. And you know what? It smells like that. This is the fragrance-free one, so you don't have to worry about the smell. But the original one has that really weird smell. Some people say it smells like, it's like formaldehyde. I don't know if it smells like formaldehyde, but I know it smells nice and fresh and clean. And the scent of that soap really reminds me of wet shaving when I first started, because that was the first soap that I had. You can get this for $5.29, guys, this puck. It will last you. It's in a nice little plastic container, so it will hold. You can lather it in the container, and it works really well. And I think you'll really enjoy using it, even if you're a more experienced wet shaver. So right there, those 2 items are at $13. And then another brush that I always liked, but I never mentioned, and I can't believe I don't, is the Omega Brush. Omega Brush Company. Now, there are a lot of Omega brushes out there, and there are some that are really affordable. This one is $8.50. It is a pure bristle, so it's a boar bristle brush, I believe, and it works amazing. It is a great brush just for everyday use. Then you don't have to worry about it, breaking it, ripping it, doing anything, losing it. It's only $8, but it is a good quality brush. It's made well, and it will last you some time. So right there, guys, with everything, it's about $21. If you really look, you'll probably get it for well under $20 for all this, probably about $16 if you don't want to go through Amazon. But here it is. That's the wet shaving kit. I personally have used all of these items. I do find them to be good. I find them to be very nice and mild to use. So it's great for the beginner. It's great for the experienced one. I love traveling with this stuff. I think that they work very well. And like I said, if I lose it or break it, I can get another one very easily for $8. If I lose my brush, big deal, right? I won't get upset. But if I lose one of my declaration brushes that I have, or if you lose I guess like a Simpson brush, like a really good Simpson brush, you could be out of the $300 or $400 range on them. So you don't want to travel with them, and also it's a big investment when you're first starting out. So $20, guys, there you go. You can start wet shaving. So now you have no excuse if you're lurking. And also, I think for the holidays, I'm going to add this to the gift-giving guide, because this will be great for stocking stuffers. So you can stuff a stocking for the wet shaver in your life for $20. So really cool. And then maybe put some candy in there for them as well, or maybe you could put a cologne in there. Now, a friend of mine, a listener that's been listening for a very long time, Abby, he mentioned, hey, Joe, you forgot about the Ullum block. Ullum blocks are really great. They're like $10, under $10 if you look really hard. And it is definitely a wet shaving tool. So I got to say, Abby, you are right. That is some good stuff. An Ullum block, I've been using mine for like 8 years now. And I use it for traction on my face when I straight razor shave, for traction for skin stretching. I also use it for sealing cuts if I get a cut. And it's great as an aftershave as well. You just rub it on your face, and you can get it nice and it'll kind of dry out. For you guys out there that are in high school, or if you have some acne, I highly recommend getting an Ullum block or Ullum block, whatever you want to call it. And if you wipe it on if you rub it on, take a little cold water and just rub it on like some acne, a pimple, or if you have a cut on your face or a blemish, it will do a big wonders on it when you wake up in the morning. Okay, so that's something that I used to do when I would have, if you think of like a zit or something like that, or a pimple, I would say I would just take that. I would even put a Band-Aid over it just to seal it from the element. And the next morning I'd come out and I'd just wipe my face and it would like be gone. The color would be gone and everything. So really impressed with that. And I think it's a great tool to have all around. It's a good. So Abby, thank you for reminding me about that. And you can have a lot of them for like $8, $9, $7. So it's definitely a must for the wet shaver out there. I always have one of those in your back pocket. Also, it's good for sealing cuts too and blemishes if you get something, if you get nicked or something like that. So $20. What are you guys waiting for? Get into wet shaving. So RazorRock just came out with a new razor a few weeks, months, I believe it was a little while ago, not too long ago. But the RazorRock Daily, this is a new CNC machine made in Canada razor that is now, it's really ultimate. It's ultimately a razor that you can customize with different gaps, different aggression levels, open comb, closed comb, and you can kind of like build it to a daily, everyday shaver. So going on the site, introducing they call it the Ultimate Double Edge, designed for precision, comfort, and effortless daily use. Whether you're a first timer or a seasoned pro, the Daily is definitely going to give you a world class shaving experience. It's smooth, sustainable, and customizable. So that's what they're really working on. This you can get different handles, of course, with RazorRock, different heads, different gaps, and all that good stuff. And it starts at around $80 for a complete razor. So $80, made in Canada, CNC machined out of stainless steel. And I believe it's 316. Yep, 316L stainless steel. So that's actually really good. It's not that 305 or 304, whatever it's called. A little bit of a harder steel. Will definitely hold a polish. I know they're not polished, but they have like, I know guys that will polish stainless steel, and you can do it very easily with some high grit sandpaper and some, metal polish and a buffing wheel, and you can make that thing look like a mirror in a matter of time, especially with that 316L. So there's options available. You can do the standard. You can do the Daily Groove, the Smooth Plus, the Groove Plus. I mean, they have different ones going there. So you got to have endless options of getting your personalized shave on that razor. And it starts at, like I said, $80. So great deal. If you get everything together, all of them together, I think it's like $300. So it's like $85. So $84.99 to start, and you can get, if you build it all, you can get I guess the whole kit for like $250 or something like that. So that's what it looks like. Really good reviews, all 5-star reviews online. So check it out, guys. Everything I've bought from them has been pretty good, including their soaps and their razors. I have a few of their razors as well. Never had a problem with them, so I would definitely vouch for this. All right, moving along. Just talking about 3D printed gear and what is the future is coming of that. Now, I'm a huge fan of 3D printing. I really think 3D printing is a wave of the future with a lot of things, and I also think that it's not as popular as I thought it would be at this point when it came out. So 3D printing is basically taking an image from something and then printing it out on either composite material. They actually have the ability to do it in metal, and they could do it in plastics, different types of stuff. And then kind of replicating that design and printing it out like you would print a piece of paper. Like when you're printing out, a report or something like that. So what's cool about this is you can take a design, like you could take a Gillette double ring, scan it, and then print it out on in a composite material, or if you want to do in stainless steel, and you can have an exact replica of that razor and try it out, and it's going to shave very similar to that, right? Now, what is the pros and cons? The pros are, hey, you get to try something you may not otherwise try. It makes it readily available. It doesn't make it rare anymore for the actually shave it. The cons are, hey, there might be counterfeits out there. It's easy to counterfeit something, but really with that, certain materials you just can't 3D print yet, so I wouldn't really worry about that part. Another pro is that if you're missing a part on something, like example, a Schick injector, and that Bakelite handle's broken, you can 3D print one and put one on there, and you're back in the game. Or some of my old shovel head razors, my Camp Brothers, my Star shaving razors that use those old like wedge blades. Well, there's a guy out there from the Frugal Shave, Aaron from the Frugal Shave, and he created a little insert 3D printed that you can put so you can actually use regular single edge blades in those razors and not have to worry about getting the wedge blade honed or actually getting one if you didn't have it. So you can actually do that. And it works very well. I did buy that. It does take a couple of weeks to get stuff because he does make it to order. And he also makes inserts for toggle cases. He makes brushes. He makes razors. I mean, just anything you could think of, they can make it as long as you send them the dimensions or send them a scan of whatever is of the item itself. So 3D printing is the way to go, guys, if you want to try it. If you have a 3D printer, I do highly recommend trying some wet shaving ideas out and seeing if it works. And then, letting me know if you have anything. I'd be even willing to try it and pass it around or send it back and then see if it really is side by side. Like, hey, if you got a Gillette tech and you want me to use a tech against a 3D printed tech, I'd love to try it and give it a shot and then definitely do an article on it, or if not, do a nice podcast episode based on it. So if you got one, let me know. Definitely will be more than willing to collaborate with you. And finally, guys, Collector's Corner for this week, the Apollo Mikron, one of the best adjustable razors out there, I believe, and it is a beautiful razor in general. Great quality shave when you get to use it. Again, one of my friends had one that I knew back in the day. Haven't seen him in some years, but he got one new old stock. He paid a lot of money for it in the box, and that's a picture of his right there in the show notes. So, adjustable razor. Came with it. Now, the difference between the Apollo Mikron and the Gillette razors, which a lot of people believe the Apollo came first, possibly before Gillette came out with theirs, is that this razor is not only designed to be used with regular double-edged blades, but it's designed to be taken apart and cleaned and repaired. So you can actually buy parts for these. Some guy was selling replacement parts online for the Apollo razor, so you can take it apart. There's a brush that came with it. And you basically clean it out, and then put it back together. It's very simple to take apart and get going. So this razor was really made to last a while. The only thing is the metal on the top cap and the handle are not stainless steel. It's not brass, so it's actually, I believe it's galvanized steel, and it didn't really last very long. A lot of them rusted out and broke, so you got to take care of it and make sure you clean it. And if you lose any plating on the top, the gold plating, make sure you get it replated because you want to make sure you want it to work well. And I believe I think the adjustment knob is made out of Bakelite or plastic, so that's another thing you got to be careful with. There was a guy selling parts for these online, and if not, I'm pretty sure you can probably get them 3D printed as mentioned before. And have them, and then be able to get this razor going forever. So it came in a beautiful leather case with all the cleaning brushes and everything with it, blade banks, all that good stuff. And a lot of them came with like replacement top cap as well. And it's just a really cool concept to get and own. These razors now go for about $400 to $500, so they are kind of expensive on the vintage route, but really nice razors. Cool. I got the hold one. I never shaved with one, but I did get to use it and see it in person with a guy that was all about it. He loved the Gillette adjustables. He found this and he saved up and he got this from a guy in Germany, actually, new old stock. And I think it took him about 3 weeks to get it because going back and forth, but he finally sold it to him. He probably paid a lot of money for it, and he really loves that razor. It's his favorite razor from what I've seen from him telling me. So, Apollo Mikron, we salute you. Wet Shaving salute as one of the best razors, adjustable razors, and coolest adjustable razors you can get. Well, guys, that concludes this podcast for this week. So I had a lot of fun bringing this to you guys. A lot of fun doing the $20 kit. I mean, I could not believe I spent $21 and I had so much fun wet shaving with that stuff. It was really very, very fun. And I hope that you guys, you longtime wet shavers out there, find that fun too and continue to do it, because sometimes it can get a little stagnant, a little old, especially when you've tried everything or tried a lot. And just to start something a little fun with minimal investment, it really brought a lot of life to me for having some fun with wet shaving. So doing that, and also a couple projects I got on the bench right now. I'm restoring, not restoring, but I'm kind of rebuilding a gold dollar. So I bought a gold dollar for the contest on Badger and Blade. Unfortunately, I don't think I'm going to make the deadline, but I am going to do it anyway, or I'll do it for next year. So I'm going to have a nice razor ready for next year. Gold dollars steel is hit or miss on them, but you can definitely customize them and make them shave very well. And honestly, another thing is I'm going through a whole cleanup in my house. I'm cleaning up my tools, cleaning up my wet shaving stuff, getting everything organized and ready to go, just so it can be easier to review and write some articles and get back into the writing game again, because it is a lot of fun and I do really enjoy it. So guys, remember our show is powered by Sharpologist.com. What your father didn't teach you about shaving. Don't forget, Mantic has another site now, a sister site called theblackcoffeelife.com. It's all about drinking coffee, specialty coffees. So if you're a coffee drinker like me, unfortunately I put milk in my coffee. I hope nobody holds that against me, but I do enjoy a good cup of coffee. It's called theblackcoffeelife.com. All right, guys, don't forget to check out my blog, shavestraightandsafe.com, and always feel free to email me at joe.wetshavingnews@gmail.com. Our next show will be on the 11th of August, first day of school for Palm Beach County, Florida. Until then, shave straight and shave safe. Bye-bye now.